We're going to get a bit of reaction to the Arsenal Crystal Palace game, and then we're also going to talk about this African billionaire who has been talking about he's wanted by Arsenal for the last 5 years. You know, apparently he's got projects going up to about 20 billion pound. So he's a pound note behind Simon. You know what? If you buy
pounds, yeah.
If you buy it, we'll talk about what sort of owner he wants and what sort of owners do we want. Let's introduce our guests. Obviously, goes without saying, you don't get a yin without a yang. So obviously, you got Ayman Guna with me.
How you doing? Hope you're good.
We've got the kids to put a bit of sense into everything in his own way.
Yes, I'm here. How are you guys?
Well, now we're getting to the cream of the crop. We got Melvin.
Cream of the crop. That's the first time I've been called that. Good evening, all. Nice to see you.
And now we've got a man he don't speak very often, but when he speaks, he always makes sense. Simon.
Good evening, everybody.
And I'm pleased to say I've got a very good person in with us today on the podcast. Defense. I'm sure that's not his real name because he don't look like someone who's always in defense. We call him shop defense, right? All the way from Florida. So big up yourself, my bro.
Yo, pleasure. Thank you guys for being on. Thanks, Sonny, for letting me on. Thank you guys. Pleasure.
Well, you know what the whole thing about the channel is, right? It's for fans to get on.
Yeah.
You know what? Big up to all you American Gooners, bruv, because you get up at silly hours to watch games, don't you?
I get up at 7 a.m. All right, like let's say you guys are getting up for a 12 o'clock match day. I get up at 7 a.m. to watch my team play every weekend.
That's what time Melvin drags himself in.
That's the time I get up to go to the toilet, Sonny.
But you know what? It's them quiet ones you need to look out for, you know.
Yeah, sometimes it's a struggle as well. It's a struggle.
You know what your defense? You know what you should do, bruv? Once your friends watch this podcast, once you get a group of Gooners, you should send me your match reactions as well, and I'll get on the channel. And also,
thank you so much.
I'm willing to do a podcast later to accommodate you lot, so we can have your perspective on things as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm looking into obviously since looking at your work and stuff like that, AFTV and stuff like that. I wanted to start my channel for a long time, but
you should do.
Yeah, I think I should. Thank you guys. Thank you.
All you need to do is be different. So do it naked or something. Just be different.
Yeah, because I was like, damn.
Sonny's out here motivating people.
Yeah, I like it.
Don't take that advice. Don't do it naked.
Yeah,
I tried that weeks ago. Look how many viewers you lost.
Just want to say hello to everyone in the comments. After this podcast, I'm going to jump on Claude's one. So if you haven't followed Claude, go follow him on Gooner Claude TV. Because I'm going to be on that one after as well. So if you could take 2 hours with me, you could. Not a lot of people can. Hello to everyone in the comments. Let's jump into the Crystal Palace game. For me, I think it's a fair result, to be honest with you. I think we're going to go to the most rounded person going, not Belly, in opinion. We'll go to Simon. Sire, what was your take on the game, mate?
So I agree. Ultimately, I think a draw. So if you take the last 2 games, I think we played the second half against Leeds and the first half against Palace was okay. Yeah, that was the good points out of it. Whereas the first half against Leeds and the second half, even before the sending off, the second half against Palace was not what we were looking for. So stats from that game, we only had 4 shots on target in 90 minutes. So you're looking at, you break it down, that's a shot every 22 and a half minutes and stuff like that. That's not good enough, yeah. Basically, we seem to have lost the ability to shoot from long range. Yeah, we're still trying to score the perfect goal. For me, the sending off was fully justified. I can't defend Aubameyang. No malice involved, but it was just a mistimed tackle, and he had to go for that. Forget VAR and all of that. It was a red card in my opinion. So disappointed that we only got a point, but after 90 minutes, going down to 10 men in the second half, I think you'd probably take a point when it was 1-1. So mixed feelings, but it was a game really that wasn't an easy game on paper. but for me, it's a game we should be looking to win.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know what? Before I come on to anyone else, I just want to add something as well in the game. I think the defending from the halfway line is going to be key going forward as well, because obviously what it does, it condenses the pitch, and it means we can close down quickly. It's a brave thing to do because our defenders are not the quickest, but Socrates is no way a slouch for a big bloke. But obviously David Luiz is. But the amount of free kicks that was given away, and because we was defending a high line, all they kept doing was kicking the ball into touch. And I thought, you know, it was nice to see Arteta being brave and implementing that. Because Emery done it at the start of the season, and we kept getting caught, didn't we? There was always two balls used to kill us. But there seems to be a lot more organisation in it now. Defence. Tell me about your journey as an Arsenal fan, bruv. Why Arsenal? Because I think you need your head testing. And also, what's your quick take on the season and the game, and what are your expectations? You got about 20 seconds. No, not really. You got.
Obviously, I'm the youngest in the room, so I haven't. Which pains me to say it, I haven't seen my team win leagues. I haven't seen us win trophies. I've obviously seen the 3 FA Cups. I've celebrated.
How old are you?
18.
You're 18.
Yeah.
You're
so
virgin.
I haven't.
You're virgin still.
Nah.
He's a league version. He hasn't seen Arsenal win.
So I haven't seen us at our pinnacle or at our peak. But realistically, I get joked at school all the time because I'm an Arsenal fan. All of my friends are Man United or they support Liverpool. Or Chelsea, obviously, because Chelsea since that rise. I honestly believe this season has been maybe more of an experiment season, if anything. We've had problems and stuff. However, I believe now with Mikel Arteta at the helm, I think we as fans have to give him more time, and it's possible. I want to be ruthless in the sense that I haven't seen my team win a Premier League title, Sonny. Never seen them win a Premier League. I've never seen us.
That's really sad, you know, defense. You know. Just want
my favorite moment.
In 1 second. Just want to shout out Chadwick Moffat. Chadwick, I really appreciate the support, bruv. Let's not forget Socrates' goal line clearance, which is why we left with a point. Do you know what? That goal line clearance was amazing. Obviously, it was good as a goal, but obviously as well, their goalie done a brilliant fingertip save from Pepe.
Yeah.
You know, so the draw probably was a fair reflection of the game, but defense gone, my bro. Sorry to interrupt you.
No. It's your turn. Yeah. My favorite memory, obviously, as an Arsenal fan, is the Arshavin moment against Barca. Who can forget? That's when I became an Arsenal fan. Like in my heart, I'm like, yo, this is the club. This is the club I love. We haven't been successful as long as I've been an Arsenal fan, but I feel like now with Mikel Arteta, I see a tiny bit of a vision. You know. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna be the person to be too excited over the process because I don't know. People have like forgotten memories when Unai Emery was at the helm. When we beat Tottenham, everyone, and when we beat a couple teams, and we had early good signs at Chelsea, people were kind of getting over the moon. You know, when we first brought in Unai, because they said, "Oh, he's making Ozil work hard." Like those exact same things. He said, "Oh, he doesn't take any bullshit." But in my opinion, I think we have to give this like another 15 games, 20 games. We have to give it time. We can't get overzealous as Arsenal fans because we have the most reactionary fan base. Have you ever seen Twitter?
Well,
Twitter is toxic.
Twitter Arsenal is the most toxic thing on it. You know, yeah.
Exactly.
It's like a pint of Guinness. You know, the froth of it's nice, the rest of it tastes horrible.
Yeah, exactly. So, in my opinion, I feel like what the man's working with as well, I feel like he just needs so many improvements. Like when you look at Socrates, for example, right? I'm not, like I said, I'm the youngest in the room. So I can't go back to the George Graham days, but he kind of reminds me of a old brute center back, no nonsense, doesn't do much with his feet, doesn't really progress. He doesn't fit today's style of game, you know? So for the game Mikel Arteta wants to play, where he's progressive and attacking and ball playing center backs that break the lines, etc., does Socrates really fit that bill? So we have to understand he's kind of playing with the hand behind his back in a sense, Mikel Arteta, and managing the season.
Defense. What's your real name, bruv? Seriously.
It's Jamaican. It's Daniel.
It's Tony or Lewis, I'll say it here.
It's Daniil. It's
Daniil.
Daniil. But,
See,
yeah.
Daniil was a cool name, bro. Why don't you stick with Daniil? Where does defense come from?
Oh, it's just what I have on PlayStation, so I play with that, and But yeah,
Bro,
it's Daniil.
be careful with later life, right? Because if you carry on calling yourself defense, it's like you're whipped. It's like you always need to defend yourself.
Yeah,
Call yourself attack, not defense.
yeah, of course.
Melvin,
Yes.
to be honest with you, if Arsenal beat Palace 10-0, right? For me, I'm not going to have any emotions one way or the other this season. For me, it's all about getting into Europa League again now. So we don't miss out on the revenue, which is going to cost us even more. Because obviously we got 20 million from last year's Europa League campaign, and that'd be 20 million less. If we didn't get there, so which means our job is that much harder. What's your take on the game?
I thought that a couple of our players, which I will name, became lazy again, especially the last bit of the first half and most of the second half. Torreira was a reason that we didn't push on, but I think that Aubameyang, though he scored a terrific goal, I thought he stopped running. I thought Pepe had a poor game. I thought he stopped running as well and helped him back. Lacazette couldn't do anything, and Ozil, in my opinion, was in his shell. And I think once that happens, we can't keep on the front foot the whole game, which we needed to do. If we kept on our front foot against Palace, I think I spoke to you half time about it, we would have walked away with the game 3 or 4-0. But the worry was there that we're only 1-0 up, and one mistake would have cost us. It wasn't really a mistake. It was rather we were unlucky, I think, that goal went in. It's like a double ricochet. But I just think that really all of them weren't given 100% for the 90 minutes. And at our standard, the players we've got, some of them have got to do that for us to get a decent result.
You know what? I totally agree with you. I was watching a watch along with Terry, right? And Terry watches the game in real time, and mine is about a minute and a half behind, right? And, you know what? I was watching it, right? And Terry was going on about how great this game was and how well Arsenal were playing, right? I was waiting for that minute and a half later to see what we've actually done. So I'll come with you, Terry, because I'm going to pick you up on this, right? I don't think we were that great against Palace, to be honest with you, mate. I think for half an hour, my take on the game was for half an hour we were very comfortable because Palace gave us all the time in the world, right? And we was very comfortable without creating a lot, and that Lacazette is getting dog's abuse, right? And I don't think it's justified, to be honest with you, because I think that through ball to Aubameyang was quality. You don't have to always score. Bergkamp didn't always score.
No.
Bergkamp wasn't a 20-25 goal strike, was he?
No.
Yeah, he does. Lacazette for me does not a lot of donkey work, right? And he's not getting recognised. But the thing is, you was really happy with the performance. I wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think we've all literally got to put it into perspective, and that perspective is that let's rewind a month ago. Let's still look at us under Emery. You know what I mean? 4 or 5 games on, we still would have been losing games. Everyone was literally saying that whatever manager comes in, Allegri, Mourinho, whatever, these players are all rubbish. They're not going to be able to do anything under a new manager. This is what everyone was saying. Now, Arteta's come in. All right, we haven't got the rubber to green with the referees' decisions, the VAR decisions, things like that. But our team has improved immensely. I can see our defending. I can see our midfielders running. I can see our forwards running the lines. Aubameyang and Pepe getting up and down them wins like anything. The actual performances and going to games now, I am very optimistic every time I'm watching Arsenal.
I agree with you. Am I?
Yeah, I totally agree.
This is what I can't understand when Arsenal fans are moaning a little bit that, Arteta's come in, he's not done this, he's not done that. I mean, come on, put it into perspective. That's what I'm saying. If Emery was still our manager, I kept saying this on the podcast, if he was still our manager, we would not have won them games, and all them divisions would have went against us even more. So let's put it into perspective. Arteta's come in, and all these players that have played, even I have said, you know what I mean, Saka, Socrates, and all them, just sell them, get rid of them. But they've looked for totally different players.
You know what? I think Ben is not far off with this comment, though. To be honest with you, we've gone from, and do you know what? When it's funny because when Simon's in the chat and Melvin and Johnny, I honestly feel like I'm back at school, even though I'm 40, right? Because I find it. I feel like I have to behave myself, right?
Rubbish.
But thing is, you know, a lot of what Arsenal are doing now should have been a standard from a long time ago, and they're only just getting it. You know, they're like a toddler who's learned to walk, but he's 27. You know, it's too late. It's too late. You know, he's an adult baby with a nappy. You know, now he's going to learn to piss in the toilet. You know, so I think we're going over the top because Arteta is implementing the basics of what it needs to be a football for Arsenal, right? And you know, if he had a decent team to work with, I think he could have really taken us to the next level. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Listen, I've just seen a couple of the comments in the comments, right? And they keep saying that these players are average. Arteta is basically not the manager. Why? You know, we've only played Bournemouth. We've played God knows what. Listen, people wanted Mourinho in. They wanted Mourinho. You was all shouting for Mourinho. Half of our fan base. And there's only a few that will hold their hands up and actually say, yes, it was me who wanted him in. But all the others have all gone quiet, but yet they're slagging off Arteta. What has Mourinho done for Tottenham? What is he doing?
Forget about Tottenham, man. Forget about those guys.
No, I'm just trying to say, all this Arteta rate, I don't understand. All these players a month ago, everyone was slating them, saying no matter what manager would come in, they would be no good. And Arteta has changed them within 3 weeks.
Here's a scenario. Yeah? So you could say you've got 3 underperforming teams this season, big teams: Man United, Tottenham, and Arsenal. Yeah. So out of those 3, out of those 3 teams, who would you be more optimistic about at the moment?
So sorry, someone's got TV in the background. Someone's got TV in the background.
It's not me.
Someone has. There's 6 of us. I know it's not me. So.
TV on in the background. Who's got it
Oh,
on?
well, 1 second. It might be my son. Hold on, in the other room. Hold on, shut the door.
Turn that porn off.
The funny thing,
Simon, to answer your question, it changes every week. The team that smashes a team that week tends to be the team that people are going to say looks like the better team. So Man United, we beat them last week. You would have said Arsenal was on the up. But this week, Man United smashed Norwich and we draw against Palace, guys, and Liverpool beat Tottenham. So it's week to week. Honestly, it's just whoever can pick up some consistency and get 2 to 3 games in a row.
Sorry, Simon, we didn't hear that last point you was making, mate. Can you say it again?
So I said, if you view it that you've got 3 underperforming big teams in the Premier League who are Tottenham, Man United, and Arsenal, yeah. Out of those 3, bearing in mind that 2 of them have got new managers this season, and one has only been in the job just over a year. Out of those 3 teams at the moment, who would you have more optimism about? For me, if I was a Man United fan, I'd be worried. Tottenham, I think, I've said before, I think Tottenham the last 2 or 3 years, and with the amount of players they've got coming at the end of contracts, and especially appointing Mourinho, because I don't see him taking them anywhere. So for me, out of those 3 teams, I'd be more optimistic at the moment being an Arsenal.
Lastly, to take on that Mourinho standpoint, all right. So remember when Mourinho was first supposed to come? Well, not even come in, but they were talking about he was talking to Raul, etc., and that maybe one of the biggest standpoints that people were like vouching for Mourinho was that he'd fix this defense, that he'd come in and he'd fix the defense. They've conceded 29 goals in the last 13 games. The 13 games Mourinho has taken in charge. That's more than what we've conceded. But yet, with more competent defenders, he's conceded more goals than what we would have conceded. Arteta has kept more clean sheets, double the clean sheets, than what Mourinho has held. Yet Mourinho is supposed to come in and fix our defense. Any questions on that? Or any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I don't. Everybody pointed the finger at our defence, and I've said it on here and I've said it online before. The fact that he's made the midfield a lot better than what it was,
Yeah.
and playing a lot higher up the pitch has helped our
Yeah.
defence. Before,
Exactly.
we were leaving 20-yard gaps in between the midfield and the defence. Well, whoever you are, if you've got a top-class striker running straight at you as a defender, you're going to struggle. So all of a sudden, the defence hasn't been spoken about as much since Arteta's been there. So he's merely changed the formation to make the defence look more solid, because it's now working in conjunction with the midfield.
Yeah,
That last comment, can I just say, listen, I'm not saying that all these players are all going to be world-class players now. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that since Arteta's come in, for some reason, Arteta has got them playing football. This is what I don't understand. A month ago, these players weren't worth a rubber salt, weren't worth nothing, right? All of a sudden now, they're fighting for the badge, they're fighting for the club. And listen, Arteta will get rid of them. He will get rid of them if they're no good. And this is what I can't understand, right? Is that at the beginning of this season, every fan was more or less, apart from a few of us, Emery in still. Let's keep Emery. Let's keep Emery. He needs time. He's had 2 windows already, but he needs time. He needs to get in his own players. You're going on now about Arteta, who's only had 5 games. And yet you wanted Emery to have another year. It don't make
I'll make you 100% right, Terry, to be honest with you. Big up my brother, Flo. Flo, with a donation like that, bruv, you're now 50% stakeholder in Sunny TV. Right?
Is that you on dollars?
Flo has actually put more into the channel than I have. Flo say we were great in the first half, but couldn't maintain it into the second half. The playing style under Arteta is too much for our players to implement week in, week out, because we are not fit enough to play a full 90 minutes and see how we do under with a full pre-season under Arteta. I think it's great. I think it's great. You know what, Flo? When you give me a donation like that, bruv, everything you say is great. Right?
exactly.
You know what? You could call me a wanker, and I'll agree with you, right? But I think Flo has got it spot on, and also thanks to Flo for doing the watch along for me as well. Your check is in the post, Flo, but it's second class, bruv. Right, but the thing is, I think Flo's right. But having said that, the game changed for one reason and one reason alone. It's because Lucas Ferreira came off. You know, for me.
I think Palace knew, watching our past couple of games, that we tire in the second half, so they kind of played it like a boxer would. The first part of the if you split the game into 3 different parts, you look at the first part, they didn't even press. They didn't even come close to our defenders. Second part, they started to get more into the game, Palace, and they started pushing forward, trying to make us move quicker with the ball, forcing our defenders to try to make mistakes, which we didn't make too many mistakes at the beginning. And then once we got to 10 men, they put it into overdrive because they had that extra man. They were going at us, sending 2 guys at every time whoever had the ball, making sure that they could try to win the ball back quick. And them pressing us and changing the tactics, actually, they deserve a little bit of credit on how bad we played in second half, as much as we deserve some insults.
The kid, they outed us, didn't they? Really? Go on, Melvin.
I think you're giving them too much credit. We're 1-0 up. We're all over them. If they were that clever, we could have easily gone 2-0 up and game over. So I don't think that was their game plan. I think that's just the way the game progressed. They never knew Torreira was going to get injured. But going back to Emery, to Arteta for 1 minute, what you've got to realise is that this guy is looking at us week in, week out now. Every week he's knowing who the frauds are. The ones that can do it for us and the ones that are pretending to do it for us. And at the end of the season, he will know who he can trust to wear the Arsenal shirt and do things with and who he can't trust. So I think I'm very, very happy with him, and I'm happy about the future.
You know what I mean. They have gone a lot better, right? There's a 80% improvement in every single player at Arsenal, right? But the thing is, the fan base got to be a bit realistic. You know, they're not going to become world champions overnight. They probably never will because they're not good enough. As much as I want to be tall, I ain't going to be tall. It ain't going to happen, right? It's not going to happen, is it?
That group of players, that current group of players, is not going to win the league, is it? Let's be honest.
No.
We can improve what we've got, but that squad is not good enough to win the league. So that tells us that we're not competing where we need to be competing to get right to the top. That's a fact as far as I'm concerned. This time next season, we're not going to be sitting here with that same squad being 7 points clear at the top of the league.
Yeah. Can I ask a quick question? Just a quick one.
Yeah.
Right, just in everyone, because I've just seen a comment, right, saying that this is just a bounce, basically, a manager bounce, wait for a couple of months or whatever. So, everyone in the panel, can you just tell me, please, how long does a bounce last for? How long before we go and say it's not a bounce now? You know, it's either Arteta's tactics or, you know, he's had enough time, blah blah. So how long would that bounce be over for you, Sonny?
Can I answer that, right? I'll tell you how a bounce will last for, right? It depends from what height you're dropped, right?
Well, yeah.
Arsenal have been dropped from a skyscraper, so our bounce is going to continue for a long time.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between a bounce and a manager coming in and actually changing instructions and changing things that are visible. First thing a manager can do when he comes in is change effort and get people just fighting and giving 100%. That's one thing that he has done. The second thing is a manager changing the system to a level where he gives you a foundation to build from. And I feel like Arteta right now, he's laying the foundations to build a house, because you cannot have a house without anything holding it together, and that's what we've been working on.
You know what, Flo. I know you said you could call. I said you could call me what you want, right, bruv? Right, but every man has their price. Mine is $159, right? 161. Call me what you want then. Well, let's quickly get into some player ratings. Yeah, we're going to do this really quickly because we want to talk about other things. We don't want to spend too long doing this, right? So let's not go through the ins and outs of every single player, what his shoe size is, and you know what his inside leg is, and the rest of it. Yeah. Leno, Simon, Terry.
6.
6. Kid.
6. I'll give him 6.
Melvin.
Agree with that. 6.
Defense.
Standard 5. What do you do? Yeah, not much to do.
Yeah, he only had one shot to save, and that he carried. Simon.
I agree. Couldn't do anything about the goal. Nothing really big in the game to do. So average mark 6. I'll go with the rest.
Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I thought was very good. But by the way, I only give Bernardo 6 as well. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I'll give him an 8. He kept Zaha quiet, and he done his job.
Yeah.
So give us your ratings for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Go on, Terry.
I'll give him an 8 for the exact same reasons you said, mate.
Yeah, I felt like he did a great job on Zaha. Zaha even had to go on the other side sometimes to try to get some work over there. So I'm giving him an 8.
Agreed, 8, Sally. Yeah, 8.
I'd give him an 8, but like I'm just loving the progression. I see that's one of those players I can see that Emery's improving, because you could tell this man's becoming a brick wall. Now he still hasn't had that.
Arteta, you mean?
Arteta.
Sorry, yeah, Arteta.
Yeah.
He's really looking really good defensively. I think obviously he's going to be end product in terms of crossing, etc. But I could just tell. I could tell he's coming in.
I'll give him a 7 or an 8. Before the game, in theory, he had the toughest job out of any player on the field. Yeah, with Zaha. So I don't think Zaha didn't get the better of him at all. So I'll give him an 8 as well.
I'm not going to be really popular with you right now, but I'm just going to read out JR's. JR, thanks, bruv. First of all, Paddy and the kid. Well, F you too, JR, right?
JR, I'm still waiting for my doll. Where is it? KSI doll.
Huh?
The KSI doll. We're still waiting.
Do you know what? I actually love this guy. I love this guy, right? I really like JR.
Yeah, JR is funny.
What I was going to say to Simon, right? Simon, everyone's going on about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. They're turning him into the next Lee Dixon, right? For me, he's not good enough to be at Arsenal. I'm sorry, but he ain't. Right? And I'm not going to change my mind based on 2 games, right? But I've been watching the geezer for 2 years, you know, in that position. And I don't think Bedouin's good enough to be there either at the moment, as well. So for me, you know, I'll keep Maitland-Niles there, but Maitland-Niles to come out and say that that's not his position, he don't want to play there, I thought it was very weak. He's
Exactly.
lucky to be playing there now.
That's fair
Yeah,
enough,
he-
Sonny, but we're just doing it on that game. We're just doing it on that game. And that game, he was an 8.
He was, yeah.
Guys, today he looked like he passed the split.
Flo. But the thing is, unless you got a stutter, mate, you can't abuse me. You can't abuse me in stages. It doesn't work that way, right? So put another donation in. Right. Let's go on to Klasnach. I thought he was the best player in the first half, personally. I'll give him 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 and all. He went up and down that win in the first half. Deadly. I just wish he could work on his crosses, that's all. But yeah, 7.
Yeah, can't disagree. There's times where he's like the only guy on the team that's driving with the ball at the other defenders. We need more guys doing that. 7.
Melvin?
Just about give him a 7. I'd like to give him a 6.5 because I think his final ball's poor. And there's no point coming up and going from one side of the pitch up the side of the pitch, beating 84 players and then coming across it. We're back to where we started. So he's got to work on that for me. And he didn't do that on Saturday. I'll give him a 6.5.
I think you're being harsh. I think you're being very harsh here, to be honest with you.
I'm that type of person, you know what I mean?
He's ruthless. He's ruthless.
Yeah.
You sod. Let's just go through what everyone's given. Next one. Let's go. David Luiz. David Luiz, I thought was really good. You know, he's got a brilliant goal. He's got a brilliant goal as well, right? But I actually thought David Luiz was really good. I mean, I'll give David Luiz an 8 on that.
Ooh.
I think he's my man of the match.
It's not your turn. Wait your turn.
You missed him out last time.
You're going to confuse me.
I'd give him a 7 myself. 7.
The kid,
Oh, who are we on again? Torreira?
Luis.
Luis gets a 6 for me.
Melvin,
I'll give him a 7.
defense, your turn, bro.
I give him an 8. But I really wanted to give him a 9. Yes, we didn't keep the clean sheet, but you have to understand, like, the accuracy of this man's long-range passing yesterday. On point. He broke the lines.
1 point. The geezer put 1 point.
Yeah.
He should be a sniper.
Where the goal came from was him breaking the lines, giving the ball towards Ozil, and then Ozil playing it off to Laka, which made Laka. The whole move started from David Luiz. David Luiz was, I think, he's unlucky on the goal for it deflecting off him, obviously. But I think he consolidated. I think his passing was surreal.
Who was it who said Klasnach's final ball and all that? Was it Melvin?
Me, yeah.
Melvin, Karen Russell says he's been a lot better under Mikel Arteta, and his costing is a lot better. You know nothing, Melvin. Right?
He's probably right, the guy against me. That's true, but I'm talking about Saturday's game. Saturday's game, he didn't do it.
The thing is with him, I've got to stick up with Melvin here just a little bit, is that he will make 20 runs and the ball will get to the right person 3 times, unfortunately. So if he can improve on that a little bit, and then everyone will be raving about him.
I'll summarise. I'll give the defence. I'll give the entire defence 7.5 out of 10 because I don't think there are any glaring mistakes here. But what I'll say is, I'll come back on this show after we've played Man City away, or Tottenham away, or Chelsea away, and then we'll have the same discussion again when they're up against top-class opposition. So are we masking something because we're playing so-called lesser? Or in Man United were awful at Arsenal, but the other games that we've played at Bournemouth, Everton, Chelsea and stuff, let's view it over a longer period and see what they're like up against De Bruyne and stuff away from home.
Mate, I don't think so because we're not a top-class defence, so it don't matter who they're playing against.
So I agree. The marks will be less.
Let's go quickly on to Granit Xhaka.
I'll give him a 6.
He didn't do nothing wrong. 6.
I'm going to give him a 5. I'll tell you why. Very quickly. If you watch the game again, he gives the ball back 9 times out of 10 when we've got a great chance of attacking. His first default is back all the time. And that, for me, spoils us as a team. So, I'm harsh on him, but 5 for me on that game.
I think he only does that, though, when Torreira ain't on the pitch for some reason. Melvin. I don't know why.
Well, when he played in Germany, he didn't have Torreira.
Flo, I've got a special one-liner saved for you, which I used on Twitter today, right? And I've saved it for you, especially. But I think it's good enough to bring back, especially the boomerang, because you're from Australia. So I'll bring that back, right? Granit Xhaka, I didn't think it was great, to be honest with you. I didn't think it was all that. You know, again, as soon as a player runs past him, his first inkling is to clothesline him like he's on WWE. You know, we need an upgrade. It's simple as that. One thing I did like about him is he's humbled his ass, right? Because when he picks up the captain's armband, he was embarrassed about putting it on, right? So pick up yourself, Xhaka, for that, right? You know, 'cause you show humility, and I like that. Right, let's go to Lucas Torreira. I'll give him an 8. Quickly for his 45 minutes, Terry.
8.
Kid.
8. Man of the match.
Defense. Yo, defense.
Defense.
I think you said my bad. I think it was an 8. I just think he still needs a tall, strong, physical presence next to him. I don't think Granit Xhaka, even though it's working right now, I don't think that's the perfect mix.
You're thinking about that girl you're going to ask at tomorrow, innit? Don't worry, she's going to say yes, bro. You look sharp. Don't worry.
We need the Torre. We need the Torre.
You got it. Especially now you've been on this program, bro. Your credibility's gone up as well.
Moving on up.
Simon.
7. He was only on for half the game. We don't know what would have happened in the other half. It was good for the half he was on, but it's not a true reflection of what it would have been over 90 minutes. So I'll give him a 7.
He's only half the size of the rest of them, so you can mark him as a full one. Who else was in midfield? Well, basically, Ozil was in midfield, and this is where me and Terry are going to clash. I think Ozil was awful. Terry. I want to give Ozil a 4. I didn't think done nothing at all to impact the game.
I thought the old team done well in the first half. To be honest, I thought they worked as a team. They were solid. Nothing really got through. They didn't really do anything. Like we said, if Torreira stayed on the pitch, I think we would have won the game comfortably. But obviously,
paced over 90 minutes still.
I know that. I'm just saying that. But for me, you know, I'd give him a 6.
You know what, Tel? It's a bit like you when you're single. You know, you're going really at it quickly, doing all the positions. But after about half an hour, you're getting knackered, weren't you? And your performance just drops. It's not good enough. It needs to be for the whole duration.
There's certain guys who get punished because they used to be playing at such a high level, and Ozil is one of those guys. He didn't have his best game. He didn't have his worst game. It was a standard 5 for me.
Melvin?
I thought it was just about 5 out of 10. I thought what was disappointing about him, like he sometimes happens, when things go wrong for us on the pitch, he goes hiding. And I thought he hit the second half.
Defense?
3. If you think about it like this, I give him a 3 only for the reason of, yes, he worked hard, but any of us would go and die on that pitch and go run 90 minutes. You have to understand, working hard, that's just the basic minimum to play for Arsenal Football Club. I think we're asking him to pick up the ball and move and pass in space, right? Because he picked up the ball in space 90% of the time, right? He has 1 to 2 assists. I can't remember the exact number, but it's like 2 assists in a calendar year. This is our number 10. I think he doesn't give us enough end product.
I know Simon's got a M10 tattoo on his leg.
I don't think so.
You support the roadway?
I give him a 5 out of 10 for that game. Yeah, I saw a stat yesterday. He's made 18 appearances this season, scored no goals, and created a goal scoring opportunity. For me, if Arteta wants us to go to a high pressing, more intense game, he's not the answer. He clearly can't get through 90 minutes now, and we're only going to be cranking up the pace even more next season. So for me, I don't think we'll see Ozil next season. I think this is his swan song. He's not fit enough to play the game that they want us to play.
I'll say so. So, you know, from what I've seen Ceballos so far, even though the cameo appearances we've seen, he puts in more of a tackle than Ozil does. I think. I like to see him get a game, and I like to see what he could do for the remainder of the season. We know what Ozil could do. We don't know what Ceballos could do.
That's why he gets lower scores, because we know where he can reach.
But you know what? you know, when I used to have hair and I used to use a blow dryer, my quiff used to reach up to the ceiling, mate. But now I'm bald. So you know, that was once.
Everyone was singing his praises against United. Ozil.
Well,
Even
against United, he was different gravy, mate. He was.
exactly. So I don't understand it. How can you all say that one game because he played against United and United's such a better team than Crystal Palace that he's fantastic, and just because he went a little bit missing, then he's shit. I don't understand it.
We're not saying he's shit. We're saying based on his past performances as a professional, this was poor.
It was. Before Terry gets further upset, because we want, you know, when Terry gets angry, he goes green and he sends a few credit cards. Right? We don't want that to happen tonight. Let's go to Pepe. Pepe was the worst player on the pitch for me. You know, £72 million footballer. Sorry, I won't pay £7.50 for him. Honestly, you know, at the moment he's just been a shit Iwobi. I'm sorry, but yes. Has he got it in him? Yeah, he has. But have we seen it? No, we haven't. So for me, Pepe gets a 2. Terry.
For me, he's like an headless chicken sometimes. He just runs up and down that wing with the ball, and he hasn't even got the ball with him, and he's still running. He's still running, trying to do step overs with the ball. I think he thinks he's a young Ronaldo, and he's nowhere near that. He just needs to get back to basic football, run with the ball, get it down on the wing, and cross it over to Aubameyang or Lacazette to score. That's all he needs to do, and then he'll be a great player. For me, he gets a 2.
The geezer tries to do everything such in a rush, right? Instead of making his breakfast, he makes his dinner. You know, he's all over the place. He's all over the place. You know, he is.
But if you get, so we're saying, all right, he was poor on Saturday and he ran down so many blind alleys and just lost the ball. Let's say he doesn't run down those blind alleys and he's crossing the ball in. Who have we got in the middle that's going to head the ball in? How many headers have we scored this season? That's not our game, is it? So him getting down the wing and crossing the ball, what is it, a 1 in 20 chance of scoring or something like that? I just don't. We haven't got Giroud in the middle anymore. So we've got Lacazette, who's never scoring a header, and we've got Aubameyang, who doesn't.
His first
score
goal was a
many
header.
headers.
His first goal for the club was a header in like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
But that was hist last header.
I'll score an header. Martinelli's going to score an header in the next game. Let's go and see what's.
I think you guys were harsh on Pepe.
Oh man, he's been shit. Yeah, it is what it is. You know?
It's small margins. A little bit inches to the right, he would have scored the game-winning goal, and would have said, "Oh, Pepe was amazing."
The keeper saved it. The keeper saved it. He took too long to shoot anyway, right?
Can I just say something about Pepe? Sorry.
I
think that on Saturday, what disappointed me about him, he beat 1 or 2 players, great, but he had a great chance, more than on one occasion, in the box to give a square ball, give a good ball for us to have a chance to score, and he just couldn't hit a 5-yard pass. And he did it a couple of times in midfield, and that is so disappointing. You know, you think this is it. He's going to get off. You get off your seat, think this is it, and he mishits it. He's sloppy at times, and that's the problem with him at the moment. But I think there's something there. We just got the management just got to get it out of him.
Karen saying, "Listen, guys, we're very out for 3 games. And Lacazette not scoring. We need Pepe. How we get behind him?" Karen, I don't think he's watching, so I think we're all right. And the thing is, if he was watching, I'll tell him he's been shit. Because for someone who costs £72 million on £200 a week, he has been shit. You know, yes, sorry, but yes. Why don't we get behind Lacazette instead? Because Lacazette's the person who picks up the game from the scruff of the neck and makes things happen. Pepe hasn't. Let's go on to Lacazette. You know, he battled really hard, but I don't know what war he's fighting because you know every battle he's having, he was failing everybody. So off it was absolutely unbelievable. And you know, for his effort, I'll give him a 4. But for outcome, you know, his pass was brilliant. But other than that, it was shocking. Sorry, Lacazette, but you only get a 3 from me.
If everyone keeps talking about Ozil that he don't show up and Lacazette does exactly the same thing. He's a striker. He's supposed to be scoring goals for us. He doesn't score. So on that accountability, then like Ozil, he only gets a 2. If that's what you're talking about Ozil all the time,
mate. If you want to downplay Pepe, in your opinion, because we've downplayed Ozil? It's up to you.
No, that's Lacazette. No, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's saying about Ozil don't do fuck all. Lacazette is supposed to score for us.
Terry,
So
Terry,
why do we get-
don't let us influence your rating, mate. Give your
Well,
rating.
that's okay. He gets a 2. That's what I'm saying. He's supposed to be scoring for us. He's their main striker. He's not.
He's not your favourite player. Then. We've established.
Sadly, Lacazette, it's actually true. This guy hasn't scored away from home in a long time, and it's starting to be
I was just
worrisome.
about to bring that up too.
It's so worrisome because we were banking on him to be one of those guys, at least get us 15, 13 goals a season in the league. But he's struggling to get that. And it's like his build-up play is not amazing. Honestly, we need the guy because we don't have too much talent, but he needs to start stepping it up. 5.
Melvin.
It's a shame that Aubameyang's not going to play the next 3 games because this guy needs a rest. Mentally and physically needs a rest. And I do take up your point. You're correct that he gives away so many fouls. I love him chasing back. He gives effort. But if he's going to give away a foul, just let him go with the ball, mate. He's got to learn to tackle. He's got to learn, if he does fail, to hide it a bit more because he's putting us on the back foot by giving away these fouls on the halfway line. So on that performance, I'm going to give him a 4. Not for effort, for end product.
Defense.
Well, I gotta stick to what I said. If work rate is that's the bare minimum for Arsenal. So he's a striker, like I'm gonna say, like Terry said. The man doesn't score enough, and like he said, when the ball got hit and the keeper parried it, that's a barrier. That's his bread and butter. He should be finishing that. I know it might be a little bit unlucky, etc., but he doesn't score enough goals for us. Now we're gonna really see what he's truly made of in these next couple of games. I give him a 2 or 3. That's not good.
You know what? When I was a kid, I had a hamster, right? And that little fucking hamster used to work really hard. He used to run up and down that wheel, right? All he used to do, run around that fucking wheel all fucking day, right? That stupid little hamster, right? Worked fucking really hard. Did the fucking bastard get anywhere? No, he didn't, right? Had to get rid of him. Fun.
You're comparing Lacazette to your hamster?
He set up the goal, lovely flick through, but away from home, he just does not produce. So if you're the central striker for Arsenal, you've got to be looking at scoring 20 goals a season if we're going to get anywhere. He just does. His conversion rate away from the Emirates is like 1 in 8 or something like that. It's just sorry to be brutally honest, but he's just not good enough for what we want out of that type of person.
Giroud was a better striker at Arsenal than Lacazette has been for Arsenal, to be honest with you.
That's true.
You can't so if Giroud was a lamppost, at least he had a light bulb in it, which used to keep the streets safe. So, Lacazette ain't done nothing. His first season was awful, right? His second season was all right, and he ain't been that great this year. But having said that, he's playing in a poor team. Karen just asked a question. Sorry, Karen. Karen's saying, Sonny, can you ask the panel this, please? Do you think Arteta will start Martinelli against Sheffield and Sheffield? He has to. I
have confidence in him because this was the first time where I picked up 11 and he played the exact same 11. I feel like there's some consistency with Arteta.
The only reason why he might not play him, in my eyes, is because obviously he's already asking these players to do a lot more than what they've already been doing, which you can tell, and they're not up to fitness already. And Martinelli's only just come back from an injury, so that's the only reason why I can see why he might not get picked. I hope he does. Don't get me wrong.
So you know what though, we can easily play Martinelli up front, and Pepe and Nelson on the wings, and give Lacazette a rest. I'll go for that as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
No, but Lacazette usually, if he's going to score, he's going to score at home. So you need to get him back firing. If you bench him, if you bench him, but then you play him the next game away, who are we facing after that? Newcastle or Chelsea? I think it's Chelsea.
We got
Chelsea.
And we've got Chelsea.
Yeah, so then I would rather him at least get one more game in, get a goal, possibly get more confidence, and then we can bring in Martinelli and these guys 60 minutes in when we're winning.
The real Arsenal, he says, but you were cussing Giroud before. Yeah, I was, because he wasn't good enough. This is just like I said, he had better impact than Lacazette. It doesn't mean I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal, though. He cost the league title when Leicester won it. He went about 10 games without scoring. Let's go to Aubameyang. Basically, you can only give the geezer a 4, can't you? He cost us the game.
Yeah, I thought
There's not even a point to rate him 4.
I'll give him a 5 because of the goal he scored. I don't think he cost us the game because he got sent off, because I don't think he meant to get sent off. That was a stupid tackle, the forward tackle. I think he cost us the game because of his effort in the second half and the last bit of the first half.
I'd say 4. The red card did cost us in the end, but honestly, if it was up to me, I'd sell him and Laka right now.
What you said about?
I'd sell them both. Not because obviously age, obviously we could cash in now. We don't really fit both of them. We have to play Aubameyang out wide to complement Laka, who doesn't produce enough. Not to mention, if you told me we would sell Aubameyang and Lacazette right now, but we get 2 world-class center backs, we bring in 2 proven top-quality center backs, or we at least improve the spine of the team. You put Martinelli up front, or you bring another experienced striker in. I'd take that all day.
Mate, when we signed Aubameyang, I turned around and said on AFTV on transfer day on the what's name on the transfer show at the end when it was all there at Emirates, I said I wouldn't have bought Aubameyang and I would have bought a defender, and I got abuse, right?
Exactly.
And 2 seasons on, we went and done the same thing with Pepe, and again we should still bought a defender. We could have kept Walcott, we could have kept Iwobi, we could have kept Giroud. We wouldn't have been any weaker, We haven't actually gone stronger as a team. We're a totally unbalanced team. It's like a fat bloke sitting on a seesaw, and the skinny bloke ain't going to go down. We're unbalanced. But we've done them all, haven't we? It's not worth rating the subs, is it?
no.
Right, let's change topic. Yeah. Apparently, Arsenal are going to be taken over by the Nigerians. We've got Klesch is going to get a place on the board. He's going to get the PA system. He's going to be entertainment at half time. And somebody put up a very good comment earlier. I don't think I'll go back that far, but apparently this Nigerian bloke on his chat, right? He was supposed to have promised the Nigerian football team £1 million for winning winning the what's name their tournament, and basically he still hasn't paid it. Is he the man to buy Arsenal? Hello.
For me, I just think it's all like Twitter, all these IDK people that are just clickbait, basically. Until there's any actual proof and all this rubbish, then I'm not believing anything, because it's just all a load of rubbish, I think, anyway.
Terry, can you take over? Because I've got to go and pick my daughter up, and can you finish off the rest of the podcast? I've got to go and pick my daughter up.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. That's not a problem. The guys are all right with
that. Everyone, don't leave. I'm just going, right? But thanks all for taking part, and please give you support, because basically these guys need you. So I'm out of here. I've got to go get the kids.
Later, Sonny. Yeah, Terry.
What do you think, the kid?
Honestly, man, when it comes to news, unless we see it on the club page, I don't really care. And what we're seeing on the pitch is all I really care about, because I've been fooled way too many times thinking that we're going to get Lamar on the transfer window, or we're going to get this guy, or something's going to happen. At the end of the day, I agree with you 100%. The moment we see it on the website saying, oh, ownership has changed, or we've signed this player, don't believe it, because all the hype, all the BS, it could even be on the team website, and you can't even trust it, because that's happened before also.
Simon?
I just think it's utter rubbish. Yeah. Even if Bill Gates wanted to buy Arsenal, Kroenke's under no pressure to sell whatsoever. So this guy who nobody's heard of before he's been linked with Arsenal, all of a sudden he's going to buy us, and he's going to take. What's his connection with the club? He's a fan, apparently. Yeah. Well, I'm a fan, but I can't buy the club. Yeah, so I just think it's rubbish, absolute rubbish, and I can't see any way this guy's going to be taking over the club in the next 10 years.
10 years.
Gunnar Martin has just said Terry ain't a rumour. He's actually done an interview, and I've seen it. I have seen, yeah, I mean, I have seen because he did try and buy us apparently about 5-6 years ago. But he apparently owns like oil factories and sugar factories and all things like that. And as far as I heard, the first time round was that he wanted to build this super duper factory that's bigger than anybody else's in the world. And once that's all paid for and built, then he was definitely coming in for us. He said that, and he said he was coming in for us this year, and now it's been moved again next year apparently. So
here's the next question going on from that. If you're a private owner of any company, or I own my house, yeah. If somebody knocks on my door and offers me 10 times the value of my house, yeah, I don't have to sell, do I? Because it's mine. There's no shareholders to look after. There's no partners to worry about, yeah. So basically, unless Kroenke wants to sell, yeah, it's irrelevant. Whatever he offers, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Melvin.
I think it's true because I sent this guy sent me an email last week and I gave him all my bank details. So it's got to be true.
Yeah, what?
Is that why you're looking down? Because
I've sent the money, nothing's happened. No, it's all. I think. Listen, you're talking about business at the highest level. If they ain't going to tell us before they talk, all right? It gets done first, then they talk. That's the way big business is done.
100%. If you're hearing about it, it's BS.
Yeah, I think for one, when I was younger, I got into the whole thing of Usmanov potentially buying us. The same thing. The same talks came out about Usmanov buying us, and until it's done, it's not done. So for me to be getting excited as an Arsenal fan. And also to bring up another point, even if let's say he came in, right? Let's say he came in, he's this big billionaire, he comes into this club. Even if he did, look at Roman Abramovich the last couple of years. He can't spend the same amount. We have a higher net spend than Chelsea. Yes, you could say that maybe because of the players that they have on loan, they sell for better profit than us. But if you look at it, they don't spend nowhere near as much as when they first came in. Man City, they make 1 or 2 big signings maximum per season now. You can't go and buy 10, 11 players and spend 200, 300 million in a summer anymore, So it's harder. Even if he came in right now, yes, you could see consistent investment, but you wouldn't see transformational investment in the club, regardless.
Can you see that, Simon?
Yeah. I don't know what he wants me to do. I'm not very good on computers, I can assure you.
I just thought I'd let you know, just so they can hear you. All right, so we were talking about that then. Let's go on to Arteta himself then. Did you want him? Is the first question I'm going to ask. How do you think he's getting on since he's been here? And I'm giving you the option now to swap him if you could. And who would it be for if you wanted to? Kid.
I'm okay with Arteta. I like Arteta. I wanted Arteta before Emery even came in. But once the board said they're going to go back in for him, it's very, very... people are saying it's underwhelming signing. I think it's the opposite because he's exciting. You have a new tactics. You don't know what to expect. In addition to all that, he's young. He's not too far removed from the league himself as a player, so he knows what the players are going through. And being from the Man City system, he knows which players in the league, what the league is like. So it's just as good as getting a manager who's already managed in the league. Even though he wasn't a full-time manager, he's been in the league. He knows what it's like. And I think he will know what type of players he needs within the league to improve the league. And honestly, I've been saying this for forever. If he can go get a guy like Decore and go get a center half for us, right away, our team is going to go tenfold higher.
Everyone in the comments also let me know how you feel. We've got a couple. Troy said he's done well. There's a couple of others that said he's done well. Simon, what would you say, mate?
I stick with him. To me, I didn't want Mourinho and I didn't want Allegri. I wanted someone that had been in the Premier League or around the Premier League as either a player or a manager who knows the league. Well, he ticks those boxes. I think he's a pretty smart cookie. For me, he gets 100% backing from me. And I think let's write this season off, or not write it off, but let's say he's not had the best chance to flourish this season with both the time he's come in and both the players that maybe he doesn't want in that squad. So the time to judge him really is the start of next season onwards, when he's had a full pre-season, he's got maybe 2 or 3 more players, and he's got his system totally grained into the players that he's actually got now. So for me, he gets my backing 100%.
Okay, just quickly, because I didn't hear what you said there, the kid. Would you keep him or swap him for anyone else?
Why would I swap him? I want Arteta. I'm happy with Arteta, and I want him to stay.
You, Simon, again, quickly.
Yeah, I stick with him. I'm happy with him. No problem.
Yeah. Melvin?
He wasn't in my top 2 or 3 to start with, but now we've got him and I see what he's like. I'm 100% behind him. I'm very excited that we got him, and obviously would not swap him for anyone else at the moment.
Okay, and defence?
It comes down to what we want as a club. If we're, as Arsenal fans, we're used to, well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm the youngest in the room, so I'm more used to this free flowing attacking football. Maybe not as much on the defensive side, but on a free flowing attacking system, right? So if I'm looking at that, I want someone that's going to put us on the front foot. That's going to make us dominate teams. Now, my personal favorite was Luis Enrique before Arteta got the job, but I did like Arteta as a candidate. I can't say that I wanted Arteta because I didn't know his managerial style. He could be under Pep, but for all we know, he could be another Jose Mourinho, pragmatic defensive man. You know, you never know with these managers until they actually come in and implement their philosophy. I would say though that I'm happy with Arteta because Arteta right now, he's making us do the basic minimums. And if you can get the basic minimums of these players, which I think are good, I don't think everyone fits a style. I think they're all good enough to be a top 6 team, a top 8 team, top 4 team, potentially. So, because at the beginning of the season, we were looking at it. Was anyone realistically saying that we couldn't make the top 4? Like with what we had done?
No, I expected to get top 4.
Yeah, exactly. So when I look at it, we have a top 4 level team. Yes, there's some players that doesn't fit his style, but to sum things up, yeah, I think Arteta will be good. I just think he needs to upgrade on certain things, like Socrates, need a ball playing center back, stuff like that. Then we'll truly see his system and see how he wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows my views. I'll just quickly say, I wanted Arteta from the start. I'm very excited about him. And just like I think Debbie said just a minute ago, she wants him forever now. I think he's going to be fantastic for us. I really do. As long as the board actually backs him and he can get his own players in, then I truly do believe that we will be like a Man City. Not price wise. We won't be going out spending like 120 million on a player. But I think he'll be able to go down a grade, Arteta, and then bring him up as a player anyway, like he has with Sterling, like he looks like he's doing with Maitland-Niles and Nelson already for me. So the next question would be then, so if you're the board, would you back him, give him money, and who would you like to see him go and get? The kid.
Guys, let's be honest and realistic here. We all know January is the worst time to try to get signings through the door because teams are going through relegation, teams are going through league campaigns, and they need their guys. They're not going to just go and change a player. You're going to have to pay double or triple what you pay in the January window. So what I would say is get your targets, understand what you're looking for, speak to them now because you can legally speak to them now, and set it up for the next window, or get at least loans in the window now because we need defenders. If we're going to get rid of Mavropanos and Mustafi, we need at least one center back. And if we're going to have the midfield that we have until the end of the season, we're going to struggle. So we need at least one midfielder. Those are 2 spots. You can get 2 loans, or you could just go crazy and spend 50 million on Decore. But I don't think Watford would ever let us do that. So that's my solution. Either get 2 loans in, or try to spend the cash on somebody who's going to help us out for the future.
Okay, so
I I think was it Darren there just put something up there saying with the lads going on loan today and Chambers being
Mavropanos,
injured, to
yeah.
me now of indicating that someone will be coming in. Whether I would think it's going to be a loan, but I'd be surprised. I mean, we're going to end up otherwise with Xhaka playing at centre back if someone gets injured or something like that. So I maybe see a centre back loan coming in January. As far as going forward for the summer's concerned, there is another centre half coming in anyway in Saliba. We know that. For me, I think he'll get reasonably backed in the summer. Let's forget the forward line because that to me is dependent on what happens with people going. If Lacazette goes or if Aubameyang goes, they're going to sign another forward. But hopefully that'll be self-funding. Yeah. For me, I want another defensive midfield player and another creative midfield player. They'd be my picks in the summer.
Okay. Have you got any idea who they would be, or who you'd want, or you're happy for Arteta to go out and pick his player?
I'd quite happily take Decore from Watford. I think him and Torreira, to me, would work well together. But as I say, there may be other people out there. But if someone pinned me right down now, I'd have him. As for a creative player, I mean, it's no point in looking at the likes of Grealish or Maddison. You know, they're just going to be so expensive that it will be out of our price range, I think.
I have a good one. I have a good one. Cantwell at Norwich.
Okay.
If you're looking for
defense.
Oh, that was me. My bad. Sorry, I was thinking of it. When we look at it, even though it's in installments, etc., stuff like that, we've spent around about like 200 million in the past two summers alone, like around 250 million. And like, I'm talking overall, not even installments, because I know net spend last season we spent 50 million. You know that coveted 50 million transfer budget, but we spent more. But just in installments, we spent 50. So when I look at it.
I'm just about to go, right? I'm sorry to cut you short, right? So I just want to say bye to you all, especially you, defence. Right? Bro, defence, you need to be a regular, bro. Right?
Thank you.
I'm just going to change the subject very quickly because I'm going to go, right? Everyone, after this stream is finished, not before, right? Not before. Come and check us out on Claw's channel. Go on Claw TV, come jump on in. But we're going to do, hopefully, if everyone's got time tomorrow, we're going to do another podcast about the new owner because there's certain things we want to talk about, right? Which I didn't get a chance to do. Right? I was talking to myself in the car on the way. Just so I'll give Flo this one-liner, though, before I go, yeah? So, Simon was saying, right, he was bigging up the self-sustaining model, right, and saying all the Arsenal fans were criticising, were always singing, taking the piss out of Man City and Chelsea for winning so much, right? And I think if you ask any Arsenal fan now, every one of them would want a sugar daddy owner, right? So if the Nigerian guy comes in with all these billions, he's very welcome, right? What I said to Simon, this was my answer on Twitter. I said, Simon, by the way, it's not Simon Mank, it's Simon Sheffield, yeah? Simon is the new Katie Hopkins of Twitter, yeah? So Simon is Katie Hopkins, right? I said, Simon, all due respect, mate, fuck off. Football has changed. We need a sugar daddy owner. Why would we want? Sorry if this offends any women because it's not my intention. It's just a joke, right? Why would we want a woman with saggy tits, right? Why would we want a woman with saggy tits? I'd rather have one with implants, hair extensions, and a designer vagina, right? So that was the one-liner. But it's all right. So no one take offence to that. But in other words, you get what you pay for, right? I'm gone. The kid I see you soon. Defence I see you soon. Simon I see you soon. Melville I see you soon. Terry I see you soon. And
all the best.
I'll be watching the rest of the podcast later. Everyone stay with them because it's just me going, not the channel, yeah?
Yeah, mate.
Go on, defence. You were saying about that question, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, and before that, also on the whole Claude thing, I feel like he gets too much abuse for no reason. He calls a lot of things before anyone. But back on the whole investment thing, we spent 200 million before in the last 2 summers alone. So when I look at it, I can tell the comment right there. I think we'll get back. I think when you look at it. I trust this board. When we made that last signing with Socrates, Leno, when we made those signings in that previous summer, you have to remember was still at the club. Gazidis was still at the club. Maybe not running things because he was on the way to Milan, but he was still at the club. And you have to remember, I forgot his name, man, from Dortmund, the chief executive from Dortmund that came in to help us. Mislintat. Mislintat was at the club as well. So now this is Edu brought in Martinelli. Edu brought in Luis. Obviously, people are halfway on Luis, but I think we'll get good investment. I think we need to bring in a strong, physical, tall midfield presence. I think Torreira needs that more than anything. We get bullied. We get street fought in games a lot of the time. We just get beaten up. Teams want to get physical with us, and we lose 90% of the time. I think also we need to get a center back. I think the kid said it, but I think we do need to bring in center backs now. We do. It's mandatory. Even if we had to get them on loan right now, I'd bring in a Jerome Boateng. Obviously, for the experience, the game is faster, but we need at least a center back, a midfielder, and I think we need another creative player. When we take off Ozil, we have Joe Willock coming off the bench. Joe Willock, not your local lad, but is he really creating much for us?
Yeah. Melvin?
I'm not going to make any speculation what we may or may not buy because I ain't got a clue. I don't think any of us really have. I just think we just got to wait and see what they do. If they do it, great. If they don't, we've got problems. It's obvious to a one-eyed man what's needed with our club, with our team. If they don't do it, then I think we're struggling. But I think they will. I think they've got to back this manager, not just in money, but in everything he wants, because they will let him go through their fingers and no one will love them for that. Because I think we've got a chance, this manager, to be not be another Man City or Liverpool, obviously not, but we could be a lot closer to him. And if we offend him, if the board or the owner offends him by the transfer dealings, I think all hell will break loose, because we have got a chance here, and they will, as I say before, they mustn't let it go through their fingers.
Wouldn't you think, Melvin? Wouldn't you think? So before he took over, he must have discussed future finances. There's no way in a million years he would have taken that job unless he'd been promised something, whether it's now or in the summer. So to me, he will be given money to spend.
That's why I'll be even more disappointed in the club, because they might have been lying to him if that is the case. I can't believe that he thinks he can look at those players and turn them into world beaters. We all know he can't. He can make them better. So that's that's a very good point. Yeah. They must have said to him, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And seeing what he has done, there's no reason for them to pull back and go, well, we thought you're better than this, and you're not, so we're not giving the money now. He's overachieved as far as I'm concerned, and they should give him the backing they thought they were going to give him and more. But as I said, we'll see what they do.
When I heard him say he was going to be ruthless, first thing that came to my mind was guys like Bellerin, if they can't get fit, he might ship them off. Not saying that I would want that to happen, but that's what I think about when I hear someone say ruthless. Like Socrates, your contract's almost up. Peace out. Get a new center back in with Saliba and keep David Luiz for another season, or stuff like that. I would want one thing. It's not, spend 600 million over the next 4 years. That's not what I want. What I want is you to spend that 50 million on the correct player. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as they fit into our team. Because when was the last time we had someone come into our team, immediately improve us as a signing? We haven't had that.
Yeah.
I'll answer that in just a second. I'm just going to ask Mikel's. He's put, how long have you and Sonny known each other? I've literally only known Sonny since he started this channel. He put a tweet out, and I apparently was the first one that messaged him straight away and said that I would like to come on the channel. And since then, we've basically become best mates. We talk nearly every day. Yeah. And honestly, it's just the friendships that I'm making through this channel alone is unbelievable. And I can't thank everybody enough, to be honest. Because obviously I'm Arsenal through and through, and I love talking about Arsenal with everybody. It's just like being down the pub. Anyone that I've spoken to, or they've asked to come on, but they've said they're a little bit scared or a little bit hesitant and all that. Honestly, there is nothing to be worried about. No nerves whatsoever. It's just like being down the pub with your mates. And once you start talking, you find that you can't stop sometimes, like me.
Yeah. Lastly, to get on the Arteta point, when Arteta first came into the press conference, he said that he just wants to bring a desire in winning the ball back as quick as possible. So when you think about it, like all the things that he said he was going to implement already, He's already implemented. As soon as we win the ball, we have a high press for at least 5 to 10 seconds of just action-packed high press. Then we drop off. Also, one more thing. Lastly, I think that
Thank you, Ian.
when you look at Arteta right now, he shows a little bit of tactical nous to his game as well already. So he's not implementing huge things, but like for example, let's say the ball's on the left side of the pitch, and Kolasinac is going high up the wing, right? And he's bursting down the wing. Ainsley Maitland-Niles drops into the midfield and becomes almost an extra central midfielder, which is just Arteta, maybe a little bit of something he learned off of Pep with the inverted wing backs, but that's just a little thing that Arteta's implementing tactically to the game. That he's just showing that he's a little bit of things. He's just only implementing little things right now.
Yeah, that's why we were saying it's crazy that he was the attacking manager, but he's improved our defense more than Emery ever did. And Emery was a defensive manager, clearly based on his pragmatic approach. It goes to show you that if you're set up the right way, it doesn't matter if you're attacking, if you're set up to attack or if you're set up to defend. The moment you set up the correct springboard to set up your attack, it evens out the whole playing field for you, and it helps everyone play easier because they know where they're supposed to be.
As well as
break it down. Yesterday, Man City's centre two, Otamendi and Stones. Are they any better than what we've got? Let's be honest.
Arguably, they're worse than what we've got.
Not like Tottenham, is it?
No. Gunnar Martin's made a good point here. He's put they have given Arteta a longer contract than they gave Emery. To me, that shows that they have more faith in him and will back him in the window. My point of view is that Arteta, look, he was at Man City, sitting behind one of the best coaches in the world, getting paid an awful lot of money to do nothing, basically, apart from what he loves doing, coaching, right? So for him to leave there and come to us at the time that we needed a manager, we was in a pretty dire place. You know what I mean? We was literally, really, let's be honest, just off the relegation zone. And if we kept Emery, I think we possibly could have been in the bottom three now. I really do believe that. With the way he played, the style of football he played, I really do believe that we wouldn't have got the points that we've got already with Arteta. So, for me, Arteta has surely got to turn around to the board and said, if you want me to come, then you need to I need the funds, and I want these and these players. I truly believe that. And if they don't do it this window, I mean, they've got to at least get one or two players in. And like everyone's been saying, all the youth on the panel, if we get an injury in defence, we're sodded. Not just in central defence. I mean, you know, we've got Tierney out and basically for the whole season.
Midfield too.
Yeah, I mean, and Wozniak, if he gets injured, who's going to play left back? If we get a centre back that's injured, who's going to play there? Maitland-Niles and Bellerin, let's be honest, when was the last time they both played the full season? I couldn't tell you. So we're literally injury prone at the back there. So we definitely need to go out and get a defender, in my eyes, no matter what, this transfer window. And I know I'm not too keen on Jerome Boateng myself. I think he'd be another panic buy or a panic loan. I think if we are really serious about getting up the table and giving it a good go in like the FA Cup and Europa League, then the board have got to prove it to Arteta. I think myself, like everyone said, and in the comments, you know, Arteta has proved us wrong at the minute and proved that these players can be good. So the board needs to show that now with Arteta, now that Arteta's got the players doing what he wants to do. And like he said in his interview, do you know what I mean? He wants the philosophy from the top down to the bottom. So the board have obviously said that they're going to be on board with that. So surely we've got to go out and get some players.
And also, go ahead, Terry. Also, like when Ian Hutchinson in the chat, he said that we're not a top 4 level team, which, you know, it's his opinion, fair enough. I do think though, like I just have this weird tinkling, like I feel like we will sign a top center back this window. Like I just feel it. Like I just feel it. Like the thing about it is, people say that they don't trust this board long enough, right? But like, there's obviously like shareholders like Sir Chip Keswick. You know, I do my homework. I'm not obviously the most oldest fan, but I do my homework. Like we have people like Sir Chip Keswick and like people that's been at the club for long periods of time, right? But I think they have a say on like managerial appointments, things like that. I think the new people like Raul, Vinay, I think they will get a top center back this either this winter or this summer, but I think it will be this winter.
Yeah, I have a shout. I don't know if you guys watch the Scottish Premier League or the Celtics, but they have this center back, Norwegian guy, Christopher Erger or something like that. I'm telling you, he's 6'4", can pass, can run, can do everything, and they're offering to sell him right now for 35 million, and he's a young kid too. He's not even that old. He's 21. He's playing at top level. I honestly believe if we went and got this guy, he'd be the second coming of Virgil van Dijk. Like, he's legit.
Dean's made a good point here. What is the use? We have loan players that don't even play Ceballos.
Yeah, but he's been injured a lot of the time.
Coming back from injury.
He has been injured. You're right. Let's go on then to Sheffield United game coming up on a Saturday, 3:00 at home. What's your expectations on that, the kid?
Ooh, Sheffield United, their away record is quite good, and their defense is set up so their defense is set up so well. The only thing that I'm going into the game that keeps me positive is the fact that we're at home, and at home we are a different animal. Even under Emery at home, we were playing better than we would away from home. So I can go into the game a little bit more confident knowing that we're at home, even though we're missing the players that we're missing.
Thanks, Simon.
Well, unfortunately, I had the misfortune of going to the away game at Sheffield United. It was one of the worst performances we've had all season. Emery wrong side there. We look better than what they were, but it was a terrible, terrible performance. For me, if we turn up like we did in the last two games against Chelsea and Man United, I'm positive about it because we really pushed those two teams back. It's all right. I know we got Chelsea, but we gifted them 2 goals and stuff like that. But we've got to turn up. Forget the Leeds game. We've got to turn up like the Man United and Chelsea game. And for me, if we turn up like that, we've got every chance of winning and getting 3 points. It's Sheffield United at home. Let's not we're not playing Barcelona here. They've had a good season, but let's be realistic. We're expected to win that game. We will be favourites to win that game.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Simon. Defence.
Question, Terry. Would you be surprised if we started with Martinelli, Reece Nelson, and Pepe up top? Would you be surprised?
Would I be surprised? Not really.
Yeah.
No.
I think he's gonna go. I think we're gonna go expansive. So I think if the knock was serious, I think we're gonna go Xhaka and Guendouzi. Obviously, he likes that pair more in midfield. I think the game is gonna pan out. They're gonna sit behind the ball. They're not gonna. They're obviously gonna be physical. They're gonna obviously try to attach on the long balls. They're gonna be that type of team. They're gonna come to us like that. But I think we'll have mostly control of the game. I think we'll create chances. I think we'll win. I think as well, this isn't me as much as a test as it would be for Arteta than a team say a team that will press us, that will give us less time on the ball. Leeds did that in the first half, which made Arteta's system more questionable. I feel like we need I think Sheffield's going to be an easier game for us than say Crystal Palace, because Crystal Palace in the second half pressed got in our face. It's tough. Everything's difficult. Every time we got a little closer to the attack, they broke up with a quick foul. They took the yellow card. They took a simple foul. So I believe that this game will be very easy. I think we'll take care of them 3-0. Martinelli show.
Okay, nice. I like your optimism, Milby.
Yeah, I'm very confident. I think if we play to our ability, even though it's not the greatest ability, but with that getting on the front foot, I think we'll be too good for him, too quick for him. I love Martinelli, but I've got this be in my bonnet about him. It's not his fault. I think he's not ready to play in the Premiership week after week because they kick the rubbish out of him. Opponents, they know he's good, they know he's quick, and they target him. I don't think he gets enough protection from our own players, let alone the ref. And I don't think we can play him for 90 minutes. You've got to start with him and see how it goes, or bring him on as an impact player for the moment. I think he's going to be unbelievable. I think he needs to get a bit stronger, a bit wiser, and I think then he should get like 90 minutes. I'd love to see him play 90 minutes, but I don't think the opposition will let him. And up front, he will play Lacazette, I think. I wouldn't potentially pick him because he's out of form, and I don't think he's that fit. But I think you've got to have someone experienced up front. We've got no experience. We play Lacazette. We play Pepe's not that experienced in the Premiership. We play Martinelli and we play Nelson. It's a very inexperienced front three, and I think the big burly Sheffield United defenders will just knock them everywhere. We need someone who's strong and, as I say, a little bit more experienced.
That's fair.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Melvin. I'm a little bit hesitant at the minute because obviously I don't know about the Torreira situation. I think we'll find out in a couple of days' time. Does anyone know if as Aubameyang, have we tried to get his card rescinded or not?
No, I think we did that card.
I know. I mean, I thought it was a red card. I called it on the live when we was watching it live. I mean, it was just unfortunate. And I know you shouldn't go on other games and all that, but for me, I think it is going to be an hard game. But I'm so pleased that we've got Arteta that we will lead on the front foot. Our defence will lead from the halfway line, and hopefully we'll keep the ball in their half. The only problem that I can see really is the officials again, because at the moment, in the last 3 or 4 games, they've just been atrocious against them. You know what I mean? It's just been ridiculous. So even though that we might be beating the teams and playing well, if you're not getting the rubber agreement of decisions, it don't matter, does it? Because they can give a penalty away or a free kick away or whatever, and then that's it. But
they said we would have 7 more points right now if we got all the calls correct.
Yeah, I see that. That was on Sky Sports, wasn't it? There was a referee on there, and they done
9 points.
9
points.
9
points. So where would that put us? Put us fourth, wouldn't it?
5th, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it was 5th.
It was 2 draws that would have turned into a win, 1 loss that would have turned into a win. That's what I thought it was.
It's not just the points, and points obviously are so important, but also with these referees, they're very quick to give us a yellow card, but for some reason it gets stuck in their pocket with the other team.
Yeah.
I mean, the Crystal Palace game, you know, there's a record, don't you?
Yeah.
What is it, Terry?
AU was a player, and I think he had 7 fouls, more than any player in the Premiership this season.
Without getting booked.
So
exactly.
It's just
totally so bad.
Did you guys see the funny coincidence that Arteta was a player and he also was the captain? He scored in the game and then got sent off, and then Aubameyang is a player.
Yeah.
That's fun.
What do you guys think about the captaincy? Xhaka ended up with the captaincy at the end of the game.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I didn't realise that until you said afterwards. I heard, until I heard that, I didn't realise.
The captaincy got passed around. First, it was started with Aubameyang, then it went to Lacazette, and then Lacazette, when he came off, obviously Ozil's not on the pitch, Bellerin's still not playing, so he gave it to Xhaka.
And then on the TV here, because obviously I think you guys have it on BT Sport, but we have it on NBC here. So I think sometimes we get different camera angle views, etc. When Xhaka had gotten the captaincy ban, he was walking over to give it to Luiz, but then Socrates is like, nah, man, nah, keep it, because obviously he's very low liked in the squad. So, I think Arteta eventually next season will make a change on the captaincy. I think he said already when he was asked about it in his first press conference that he's not going to make any drastic changes right now. He's only going to do little things. So I think right now the captaincy will be moved to someone that he either brings in that's a commanding, posing figure, or if Aubameyang stays, he might keep it on to him as leverage, etc.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I think Aubameyang looks happy at Arsenal. I don't think he's going anywhere, to be honest, myself.
And with Luis Torreira.
Sorry?
Same with Torreira as well.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of having a forward as a captain.
No.
Maybe I'm from a different era. I'd rather have a centre half as a captain who can see exactly what's going on in the game in front of him. Forward, I just think he's detached a lot of the time from the rest of the team. So for me, I'd rather have a centre half as a captain.
No, I feel like Simon. Totally agree with you.
Me, I feel like the captain is the person who actually takes the most leadership upon themselves. It doesn't matter what position you play. If you take it upon yourself to be the guy who keeps everyone together and keep their head on straight, because we have a problem with switching off. And if we had a proper leader on the pitch telling people, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, this is where you need to be, we would never switch off like that. Because our last 2 games, it was little moments of lapses that cost us the games. And from getting all 3 points.
I think it is important with the captain plays. If you have a captain on the right wing, he can't get his point across, same as the goalkeeper. You've got to have him either a centre half or in middle and midfield, and that's it with me.
As well as I think,
like Simon.
as well as I think that if Aubameyang stays next season, right, Arteta's not going to strip him. He's not going to cause disharmony in the dressing room. But I think if he stays and we might bring in a commanding leader figure. I think we might see a Jordan Henderson, Van Dijk type of situation where everyone in the team really know Jordan Henderson's the captain, Liverpool boy, etc. But we all know who's the true leader on the pitch. If he comes off, Van Dijk comes off, the game changes, etc. So I think we might have another captain, but he'll be the vice captain. You just won't take the captaincy off of Aubameyang because you don't want to mess up the harmony in the dressing room, etc.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be going for an hour and a half now, boys. So we're gonna. I just want you to give me your quick prediction, then score prediction on Saturday, and yes, your summing up points of whatever. Go on then, the kid.
2-1 to the Arsenal, and we're just gonna try to nick a win at the end. It's gonna be 1-1. We're gonna nick a win at the end.
Okay, Simon.
I'm going 2-0. I really think that if we start on the front foot and push them back, I think we can really get a real good footing in the game early on.
Okay, Melvin.
The same. I think we're going 2-0. Like I said, on the front foot, go at them. I think we'll be too good for them. Don't let them command the game like they did at Bramall Lane. Get in their faces like they did to us. Just go at them and don't let those, because they got fair defenders that just put them under pressure and they will crack. I fancy us winning.
Okay, defense.
I think it'll be a 3-0 game, but I think only because of Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Kolasinac obviously being the main people that break them down. And I think obviously we'll be in their half. I think the entire game. When they played against Liverpool, they were still putting 10 behind the ball when they were 1-0 down until like the 86th minute. So I think we'll obviously continue and we'll get 3 goals. 3-0.
I'm going to go with Jack and Dean. They both said the same thing, and it's 3-1 to the Arse. I know 3-1. I just think, even though I think we've been 100% better in our defence under Arteta, we're still likely to just a little mistake every now and then back there, unfortunately. So I can see him still getting one. I hope not. I hope we keep that clean sheet. But 3-1 I'm going. And like Simon said and a few others, just start on the front foot from minute 1 and just keep them in there running off. And that's the best way to defend in my eyes.
I think we'll blitz them.
I hope so. I really do.
I feel like our issue is once we score the first goal, we're not as clinical to get the second. It's almost like, oh, we don't need to get the second. Where the first goal, we were trying so hard to get the first goal. Once we get the second, it's kind of like, we don't need it. We're still winning. That's how they feel.
I personally think that's just confidence myself at the moment, especially with Lacazette. Obviously, not getting this goal, and the more and more it's continuing, the more and more he's thinking about it. I think once he gets that goal, hopefully that might open the door, hopefully, to a few more. But you never know. So hopefully we do anyway. And the only downside for me is just obviously we just seem to be picking up injuries all the time again. You know what I mean? Like with Torreira, now we've got a Aubameyang out. You know what I mean? We're already down to the bare minimum. So that's the only downside at the moment. But as we said, the board have definitely got to help him out here. So I just want to thank everyone for coming on. The kid, as always, great to have you on again, mate. Simon, nice to meet you for the first time. Great opinions you've got there. Melvin, what can I say about you, mate?
Thanks very much for having me on, Terry. Thanks.
Ben, from America, lovely having you on for the first time, mate. Hope you weren't too bad.
Definitely.
Of course, man. Appreciative to be on the platform. Thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity. And I was just someone watching. Thank you guys.
That's all right. You can go and change your boxer shorts now because I know you was a little bit scared at the beginning. You know. We just want to say thank you to everyone in the comments and all. Let's go to the Emirates on Saturday. Get that noise back up again because it's been brilliant. And let's whoop Sheffield United's arse going into the Chelsea game the week after.
Of course.
Nice seeing everyone again and speak to you all soon. See you later on.
Yeah, bros.